Hey there. The bass note strum is a very common strumming pattern, especially in the world of country, folk music. But in this lesson, I'm not only going to teach you this strum pattern, I'm going to use it as a technique that'll improve all of your strumming. Let's do this. Hey there, I'm Thomas from Real Guitar Success. One of the problems guitar players have when learning to play guitar is hitting the correct strings when they're strumming a chord. One way that really helps with that is just practicing hitting the bass note of the chord and then strumming. In fact, we're going to call that a strum pattern, the bass note strum pattern. It's not only a strum pattern that's perfect for certain kinds of music, but it doubles as a technique to practice getting the bass note and training your hand to hit the right strings for each chord. In fact, after practicing this strum for just a little while, you'll find your right hand just goes to the right place with the chords. Here's the basic idea of the bass strum pattern. I'll start with a G chord. The bass note is going to be the low 6th string. And then we'll strum. So it sounds like this. Strum, bass, strum. You see where it gets its name. If I were playing a D chord, I'd hit the D bass note. Whoop. That was an alternate bass note. Not wrong, but we'll save that for another lesson. Now, a large portion of popular songs is in what we call 4/4 time. That means 4 beats per measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So this is the strum for that kind of song. Bass, strum, bass, strum. That's 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're hitting the bass on 1 and 3, and then strumming the chord on 2 and 4. Now that you understand the basic pattern, the trick is to practice it with a number of chords, preferably chords that you're going to use often. Now you could go about just choosing chords at random, but the best way to do this is to use chords in keys that are common for guitar players. I've made a whole video on that, and I'll put a link at the end so you can get that also. But we're going to start with one of those common keys, which is the key of E. We're going to use 3 chords, the E chord, the A chord, and the B7. Those are the 3 most used chords in the key of E. So what you want to do here is practice the bass strum with each of those chords, and then practice going from one chord to the other. So here's an example. For the E, we're going to use that low 6th string. That's the bass note. For the A, the 5th string is the bass note. And for the B7, the 5th string also. B7 is a 4-note chord, and if you want to leave the pinky off, it's a little different sound, but it still works. Just a little easier. So a good exercise would be to play one chord, and then go to the next chord, same strum. Try to do it without stopping. Now, once you can do that slowly and reasonably well, I'd say at about 80% of perfect, let's say, go ahead and try a song with that. Here's an example. I'll do Leaving on a Jet Plane. I'll go right to the chorus. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Okay, so that's one of many 3-chord songs that you could practice using those chords. But let's take it up a notch now. A lot of songs are in that 4 beats, we call 4/4 time signature. But there's quite a few songs that are also 3/4 time. What that means is 3 beats per measure. If I were to use that same E chord, it'd be bass and then 2 strums. And we'd count it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now practicing chords, especially in the common keys for guitar, with that strum opens up a whole bunch more songs. Now you've covered probably about 90% of the popular songs. Now let's go ahead and try another one of those common keys. Another one is the key of G, and the 3 chords that you'd want to start off with in the key of G is a G chord. Next, a C chord. I'm going to use my 4-finger C, but any C chord will be fine for this. That's the 3-chord time. 1, 2, 3, and then the D chord. So that bass note's on the 4th string, D. The C is on the 5th string, and the G is on the 6th string, like the E. By the way, I often start students in the key of G, so if you're just starting out, that's a good place to start. And you don't have to do the full 4-finger G either, but I'm going to go ahead and go with that for now. So again, what you'd want to do is practice strumming and changing chords, preferably very slowly and without hesitating a change. Of course, at first, it might take a little while to get your fingers there, but you want to practice it slowly so you can do it without stopping or without slowing down before you change chords. Then try a song. Here's an example of a 3-chord song in the key of G. And this could be in any key, but I'll do Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, how sweet, that's the C chord, the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So that's pretty much it for today's lesson. If you'd like to take this farther, go ahead and go through each of the 5 keys, 1 key at a time. I'd suggest starting with G if you're just starting out. If you'd like to learn more about the most common keys for guitar, I made a video just for you. The link's right here.